Ba-dum-bum.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. Episode 23 of the Quality Time Podcast with Nick and Erin. I'm Nick.
I'm Nick.
No, you're Erin today. That was last week.
I want to go first, though.
Okay.
I'm Erin.
This is the Quality Time Podcast with Erin and Nick. It really doesn't flow, you know? It's much better with Nick and Erin.
No.
I think so.
Comment below.
Yeah, what
Erin
do you guys think? This is episode 23, which is a milestone episode. Do you know what the milestone is?
It's been a year.
It's been 1 year since we started this podcast.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing. Can you believe it?
We did good.
A year has flown by.
I know.
We kept with it. But if you're doing the numbers, it's like 23. What? You did 20. We said we were going to do every week. Then we ended up we're going to do every 2 weeks. But there's 52 weeks in a year, and we only got 23. 23 times 2.
Semantics.
That's 46. That means there's a few episodes in there we skipped. Pretty good, but we got to get better.
Yes.
But that is pretty awesome. We kept with it.
Yeah.
It's grown a lot.
I know.
We're almost to 9,000 subscribers in 1 year. That's YouTube.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We got iTunes and obviously clips on other things. Instagram, TikTok, all of that. So a lot of views are coming in. It's good. But we're definitely we're getting into the swing of things, and we're gonna make things more consistent. So guys, we promise we're actually starting to put a lot more work into this podcast, and we're committed to it.
Yes.
And we're gonna make some changes. I've been making changes with the studio, as you've been seeing. Subtle changes you guys can't necessarily tell.
I do like it a lot, though. It doesn't seem so
right.
bright.
It feels
and
better.
Yeah.
We got some LED lights in here, and I've changed the lighting setup and the camera setup, and ordered some new equipment. Some of the new equipment that, not to get into tech talk, throw us back to episode 1. Some of the new equipment I bought, or that I'm buying, is microphones. Because we are going to start having guests on this podcast. What do you guys?
Exciting.
What do you guys think about that? I think that's a good idea. I'm excited to have guests and kind of switch it up. And I've been wanting to do, other channels and podcasts where I was going to have guests, but with the COVID, that kind of ruined everything. A lot of the TikTokers that I've been having on, it's over Zoom.
Yeah.
Can't really have them in person. One, they're all over the country, so it's not that easy. But even our friends and stuff, there just wasn't really an avenue for me to invite people over. And we talked about it, and we're thinking, dude, let's have them over on our podcast, Quality Time with Nick and Erin. But a lot of our friends are interested in the podcast, and we meet a lot of cool people. And we know other couples who I think it would just give us, just more variety and more interesting conversations that lets you guys see a different side of us and, hear some of the crazier stories of our life and just, just dive into some other topics. And we've had other friends who have hit us, been like, I want to come be on your podcast. And I'm like, well, I'm starting a new one and we'll find a way to do it. But we never really considered having guests on this because this was just going to be our thing. But I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, me too.
And it'll add another layer. But it will also add more work and complications. And that's why I'm kind of planning the new studio. And we're still working on building a studio. We're building a custom studio. So that's coming. And I'm excited. So we won't get too deep into
things. Big things are coming.
Yeah, because a lot's been going on. Long story short, I've been kind of burnt out lately. I've been doing so much this year. I've spent all year. I've accomplished a lot this year, and I felt so great. And then all of a sudden, these last couple of weeks, I really got burnt out. I've been staring at my phone so long for all year. And I mean, it's good because there's nothing else going on with the COVID, but I just basically have been trying to do a lot of things. There's so many channels I've wanted to start. We talked on the earlier episodes about starting the Discord and all of that, and then starting the Patreon. And a lot of these things are like a lot of pressure to get started. And then it's like, you got to keep them going. And I was just doing too much all at once. And I'm like, I need to slow down and simplify. And what's really important, the TikTok to build the audience. Shout out to all you TikTokers watching, and having fun on that. And that's pretty easy content to put out and whatever. But my main focus is growing this podcast. That's really what I want to do. And I was starting my other YouTube channel, and it's not that pressing of something that I need to do right now. So that was kind of just bugging me that like, oh, I need to put out content on this. Otherwise, what's the point? And then it's like, well, I don't really have to do that now. Let's just slow down and simplify to what's important.
Yeah.
And I think this podcast is the main thing I really want to put work into and grow. So kind of slow down, simplify, focus on the things that I think will be good. So we're going to just put a lot more work into this podcast. And, you know, that will free up my life to also go live life, because now COVID is ended pretty much in Florida. I know the rest of the country still says, how dare you go out and party? You guys are all irresponsible. Well, first off, fuck you. Second off, it's never going away.
Yeah. Everything's open. So.
And Florida is like, nope, we're back to normal. So I'm ready to get back out there and have fun. But that's part of the problem is going out and having a life. Like we did that. I disconnected from pretty much everything. If you guys haven't noticed, I haven't been posting as much on anything, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, my Discord that I put all that work into to get all those 14,000 people. It was a crazy Discord. Go check out that 2 episodes ago, Discord on the Court. There was a lot of chaos getting that going. And then I got it going. And then I was like, I can't look at this anymore. And I kind of just disconnected for like 3 weeks. I just pretty much we went on a vacation, like a little staycation in Florida. And we started doing some social things. And it felt good to go out into the world and just kind of socialize. Yeah. But I realized that I can't do it. You know, a lot of this content takes so much work. It takes so much dedication. And I'm doing it and I'm good with it. And I'm excited for it. But also, I need to disconnect and go have a social life. And we obviously need that. But then I feel like, I just neglected pretty much everything I was doing. And it's like, that's okay. I need to just do that and just say, fuck it. Sorry, Mom. Disconnect, go have a life and enjoy that. And I also, I restarted up my second TikTok to kind of show my IRL life, which is now Nick Foster Vlogs. And I want to show some of that content, and that is going to come a lot easier now that we have a social life and we have things to do.
Yeah.
But when I'm out having a social life and we're having fun and we're at the beach and we're traveling and we're meeting friends and we're partying and doing cool stuff, that means I'm neglecting all the content that I need to do. So if I have 5 different channels and I got to be on the Discord and I got to be posting here and be doing this and editing, it's like, you got to pick and choose. So I'm kind of just like simplifying down. Yeah. And I've started making moves into, I bought a streaming card for gaming on Twitch so I can live stream on Twitch. So I am going to try that because I like the idea of something that I can just jump into when I want to, play some games, talk some shit, make some content. So are you
doing this on like the TV with the...
No, I'm going to bring it in here, stream it through my computer, play on this screen, which I'll probably have to move, or I don't know. I'll figure out the setup and then stream.
What are you playing?
Probably just Zelda.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild and Link's Awakening we have, which is a fun, good puzzle game.
Are you playing it on the thing?
Yeah, I'll play it legit on a controller.
Yeah.
But I'll connect it all through so it can stream into Twitch. So I've been doing some research and getting that equipment, and I'm going to try it out. So guys, stay tuned and get ready to subscribe to my Twitch. And I think that's something I can keep up with because it's one thing. It's just go live. I like going live. I'm good at that.
Yeah.
It's all the editing that really takes a lot of time. And there's still going to be issues with that if I want to put that onto my YouTube. But I'm trying to find my process to kind of make it maintainable to where I can have fun, stay on top of all the things I want to do, but still go out and like have a life and not just be so, burnt out all the time. So,
and you were talking about too, us doing like a live stream as well of the podcast.
Yeah, guys. So that is another thing we're talking about. I'm building up the studio and building up the plan for our new studio that we're building. And we want to do this podcast live. The way we have this set up right now, there's no way to do it live because of the way the camera is and how, we have to clip it every 20 minutes and then I have to edit it and sync it all up later. I mean, that's not super important, but I think I'm going to set it up to where we can actually go live, and maybe once I set the Twitch up, maybe we'll just do it live on there, or we'll set up a different Twitch for quality time or something. But I think we can do this podcast live. So I'm going to look into the cameras and a switcher so that way I can control everything. And we'll try to do this live, and maybe we'll do it live all the time.
Because you'll see in between the commercial cuts.
Yeah, you'll see. Well, we may not need the commercial cuts with the new setup. That's what's good is we could actually just flip it on and talk for an hour.
Oh, gotcha.
Because these 20-minute breaks are.
You have to have a new camera though.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking into.
Gotcha.
And I have the webcam and everything. It's just I'm getting into the Twitch stuff. So, but I've played around with it, and I think I can make it work. Yeah. So I think it would be cool to do this live, and then you guys can comment and watch live, and ask questions, and we can have segments where we actually engage with you guys. Or maybe it will maybe it'll be bonus episodes for Patreons only, or maybe it'll be once in a while. We'll test it out and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're making changes, and we're going to really start putting out a lot more content on here. And I have to start a clips page on, well, not on a separate YouTube, but editing short clips of this podcast, fun little topics that we talk about, so I can upload those up on YouTube. And that's a thing I've been trying to deal with for a while, but it's just time. When I was strung out and had a lot going on, it's like, I can't just edit for 12 hours today. I need to take a break. Yeah. So I've been putting a lot of things off, and I've been neglecting, but guys, I'm back into it. I've taken a break. I'm motivated and ready to go. And to change the subject and get into this week, it's a fresh new podcast year. It's also Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
And
the sad pumpkin.
I don't like that.
I love it.
I mean, he's here. He's kind of cool, but I do like the vibe of the Halloween decorations in here. It's got a good look.
Yeah.
So happy Halloween, everybody. Hopefully this podcast will be up by Halloween, but it is Halloween. But also, we'll hold off on the Halloween talk. Another thing that is a new fresh year. It's my birthday.
Another year older.
My birthday just passed. I'm always a Halloween birthday guy, because my birthday is always 1 week before Halloween.
Typical Scorpio.
I know, such a Scorpio. I'm a day 2 Scorpio. You Pisces wouldn't like me. I don't even know. I'm in October. Marches don't get along with me. That's so dumb. But
it's
yes,
so true.
Is it? I'm such a typical Scorpio. I get that all the time though. People are like, "What's your sign?" And I'm like, "What? If you know astrology so well, you should figure me out." They're like, Cancer, Sagittarius, Pisces. I'm like, no, Scorpio. They're like, you are such a Scorpio. I was going to say that. I was going to say it. Oh, were you? You fucking went through, sorry, Mom. You went through 5 of the months already. You were like halfway through all the months. You were going to land on it eventually. It's like guessing your age. How old are you? Oh, I'm, why don't you guess? 21? No. 28? No. 35? No. 22? No. It's like, just keep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You nailed it. I knew it. I knew you were 36. That's how old I am, guys. I just turned 36.
Old man.
Dude, I am old.
Super old.
What do you think about that? What are your thoughts about dating a almost 40-year-old?
I love it.
Yeah, you guys see?
Older is definitely better.
Yeah, but do you really view me as the older man? Like,
no.
It's like, of course I'm older, but I don't think you're like, oh, I'm dating an old man.
No, definitely not. But yeah, I did like that you were older. I just can't date people my age. I need people who are older.
Well, that's a normal,
or younger.
Normal woman thing.
Yeah.
Or I can't date people my age. They have to be older or younger.
No.
You got to be a baby or you got to be an old man. But if you are my equal, what do we talk about? Similar interests and life experiences?
Yeah. No, it's not younger either.
Yeah.
They can't be younger.
Yeah, that's a normal woman thing. Women like the older men.
Yes.
So cheer up, man. With little kids watching this, I don't know, the 15-year-olds watching. How do you get a girl? Step 1,
wait 10 more years.
Wait 10 years and the women will love you. Don't worry. 20 years, they're really going to love you. Men, it gets better with age. As long as you don't get, super fat and locked down with bills and family and wife and all, keep yourself young and fit and healthy and not bald. There's not much you can do about that.
Or just completely commit to being bald.
No, I know.
And just shave it off.
I wasn't really going to get into this on this podcast, but I guess we should. I went down the rabbit hole on YouTube of I found this channel of a bald community about men who are going bald and how they just decide to shave their head, which 100% I agree. I mean, look, I buzz cut my hair for 10 years and I've been talking all the time about the benefits. You have consistent hair. You don't need to buy product. You don't have bad hair days. It looks better.
Look good.
I get much better attention when I look like this because you're more masculine and it just looks good.
It really suits you.
I like it.
Sure.
I love it. And I've done it for years and I have a full, the thing is I'm not balding at all.
You have a nice shaped head.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, I get
It's
that
not
too.
all like boop, boop, boop,
And I think that's, that's what this community talks about is, having to dive into having this, having to shave their head and, being worried about not having a good shaped head.
Yeah.
But anyways, I went down this rabbit hole and for no reason, because I'm not balding at all. As much as people have made comments on TikTok, like you're an old man, you're balding, you're a receding hair. Like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
My whole family, there's no baldness in my family. My dad's almost 70 years old, or he is 70 years old, full head of hair, like can comb it back. It's great. Gray, but perfect hairline, very thick and
luscious.
Great hair. I'm very lucky. I have great hair, great genetics, great hairline, great shaped head. Yet even still, I just shave it off. I buzz it off. And men are probably watching this like, I wish I could do that. Like just have a full head of hair and you're just wasting it. But I'm like, there's so much benefits to just buzzing your head. But I went down the rabbit hole and watched these men who are like balding at like 17, 20, 25, like super young. And I'm just like, I had never really recognized how much of an insecurity and like a problem that is for men. And I was just fascinated by this channel of them having to take the leap into just shaving it all off. And once they do, they look so much better.
Yeah.
And they feel so much better. And they're so much more confident. And it's like, you never have to worry about your hair again. You never have to hide it. You never have to care. And you actually just look better.
Yeah.
Most of them.
I mean, so
some do have a misshapen head. But most, pretty much 99% of the ones I saw looked better.
Yeah.
And I just found it fascinating. And for some reason, I just went down this rabbit hole and I was watching all these videos of these guys like talking about this issue and and then like doing their shaving off and seeing their reaction to it. And I was like, man, I'm ready. If anything did happen to my hair, I'm already ready. I've already been doing this for years. I'm just shaving it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I was so fascinated by it and I thought it looked so good. I even considered like, maybe I'll just go the full bald look for like what man ever does that? Men who shave their head completely bald, it's because they're balding. And I almost just want to do it because I just think it looks cool.
Yeah.
And I could.
Wait, Dwayne Johnson, he's bald, right?
Yeah.
But is that by choice?
Yeah.
Or did he?
I mean, he was
to do
bald.
it?
I think he was balding, receding
Okay.
hairline, and I think he just shaved it off.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan did the same thing. He had hair when he started his podcast, and he was already 40. So it was receding more and more. And then one of the years of his podcast, it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
He just was like, screw it, and just shaved it off. And he recommends to everybody too. Just shave it off.
So what about women when they have thinning hair?
Sucks for you, ladies.
I know.
Sucks for you.
It's so sad because we are so attached to our hair. That's such a feminine feature.
But that's the thing is watching these men, they are too. It's such a burden on them, but
it's
they
more
have to get
accepted
over
by
it too.
society to be bald.
Well, guess what?
For a man.
Women have to band together and make it acceptable. And some women shave their head.
Yeah, but
and
it's
they
like,
can pull it off.
I don't know if they go bald though. I don't know if I've ever seen a
No,
bald.
yeah, they go
just shave like a buzz.
Well, normalize it, ladies. They always talk, can we normalize this? Can we normalize that? Yeah, do it. Go start doing it and it will be normal. Oh, you want us to all come together and say, oh, it's normal. No, that's not how normal works. You have to make it normal by doing it. So start doing it. Shave your head.
All right.
Do it.
Fuck it.
Erin, no, don't do it. Please. I don't want to have to find a new girlfriend. Yeah, it was weird. It was fascinating. And I understand, but it did make me, I talked to you about how like women are always talking about these body issues and these insecurities. And I understand there's a lot of pressure on women, but there's pressure on men too. But men suffer in silence. Women never think about this horrible experience that men have to go through of balding. And I was watching this like empathetic and like, oh my God, this sucks for these guys. And props to them for like manning up and that seeing all of them basically be like, accept it.
Yeah.
They truly accept that there's nothing I can do and they just dive into it before they even lost their hair. They're just like, okay, I'm just accepting this and doing this. Women have a hard time doing that. They do plastic surgery and change everything and get lip injections and do all this stuff because they can't accept their imperfections. And
because it's not as accepted either. Men
Well,
being
no,
bald or
certain
like
thing, not the
shaving their
bald
head
thing.
is fine.
Maybe not the bald thing, but things like lip injections. It's perfectly accepted to have thin lips. There's nothing wrong with having thin lips. You're beautiful. You have thin lips. That's not an insult. You're beautiful. There's nothing wrong. Like, that's not accepted. Nobody's like, oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Some people are.
Yeah,
Some
assholes.
people say that. Yeah, they like make
okay.
those comments and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Mean people.
Dumb people who suck, yes.
Yeah.
But it is accepted in society.
It's not like a beauty standard.
I get you.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is that the women, if you're talking about like internet comments and the women on TikTok who are like, oh, you have no lips, blah, blah, blah. Those women are the ones who are like, don't body shame me, don't do this. And then they throw out, how many times I've seen them insult men for receding hairlines and being bald. And it's like women have no understanding that men have horrible body issues too and are struggling with something that's very hard and a big insecurity and hard for them to deal with. And we'll just throw it out like, haha, you're bald, you're old, you have a receding hairline. And then they cry when you're like, you wear too much makeup. Like, okay, you can't even, most women can't even just feel good in their own face. They have to paint it on. And then they throw out these insults to men about them being bald when they can't do shit about that. They can't put makeup on it. I mean, I guess they could, but you would make fun of that too. I'm just saying men deal with a lot of this too. And I went down the whole rabbit hole of like, yeah, man, I'm lucky that I don't have to deal with that. But also I could handle it. You know, I'm prepared. I could just dive in and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen some videos where girls, they do just like chop off their hair and they shave their head and stuff, buzz it. And they look really good. Some of them that can do that.
I think so.
Like I always wanted to have dread my whole head. And I was like, afterwards, I'd have to shave my head too. That's what my whole plan was. But obviously, I never got dreads. But
she tried. She started one dread to see how it went, and it didn't get longer. It just got fatter.
It was a beautiful little dread at one point, but then it turned into
it was like she had a turd in her butthole hair.
It's like this long.
But only it was on her head. You go to like pull her hair and it's just this big clump. Eventually she just had to cut it out. There was no getting it out.
Oh, I miss that thing.
Yeah, that was good times. That was like the beginning of a relationship. Yeah. It was a long time ago now. We've been together almost half.
I was sitting at the tattoo shop while my friend was getting tattooed and I was just like, oh, I'm going to dread my hair.
Oh. So you started it?
Yeah, I did it.
I didn't even know that.
And I did one on my two friends that were there too.
How'd
and theirs came out good. Okay. Theirs was fine.
Note to self, let them get the dreads and you stay away from it.
My hair is just too thin. I don't know.
Okay, we got to take a little commercial break and then we will be right back in a minute with a commercial.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Okay, Erin, who's our commercial sponsor today?
Right.
It happens to be a sponsor we've already had. Can you guys guess? Only OG fans of this podcast know who our only sponsor has been on this podcast.
All right. So, drum roll, please. It's Chunky Cookies of Tampa.
Hey, Chunky Cookies.
Yay.
Shout out to Chunky Cookies.
Yeah. And here's the beautiful box that it did come in.
Yeah, look at this awesome arrangement. If you guys notice, the box has no cookies in it. Sorry. We said we were going to save them for the podcast, but one, it took us a while to do this episode.
Yeah.
And two,
they were delicious.
I had weed in the house. And three, you can't look at these cookies and not eat them. We went through them in like 2 days. They were so good. Mm-hmm. You make really good cookies.
Yes, you do. So yeah, we will tag them at the bottom. Tag her.
Yeah. So it's Chunky Cookies, and basically she's a startup company. She's one of Erin's good friends from...
high school.
Okay, so they go way back.
Yeah.
And she's starting up a bakery, I guess, a custom cookie thing. And she's getting better. She's getting her presentation better. She's got...
It looks so cute. You did such a good job.
The cookies are on point. She makes amazing flavors of cookies. Like
all the flavors are on here. Classic s'mores.
S'mores. My favorite was the PBAF.
Yeah, I think
peanut butter AF.
Salted caramel.
Great.
Caramel. I was
I
putting
think
both
it's
of
all
them
the
together.
Yeah.
Caramel.
But they're big, round, fat, chunky cookies that are chewy and filled with candy and flavor.
My gosh, I know.
They're so good. So she's starting it up, but it's in the local Tampa Bay area. So if you are in the local Tampa Bay area, hit her. She has a website, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hit her up at chunkycookieshop.com or follow her on Instagram. In fact, if you're not in the Tampa Bay area, follow her on Instagram, chunkycookies_Tampa, and show her some love. Send her a message. Let her know that you heard about her on the podcast. But if you're in the Tampa Bay area, she can make them and deliver them.
Yes.
She's not shipping yet.
She has a small fee for delivery, or you can come pick them up for no fee.
And what do we consider Tampa Bay area? Like the beaches and everything?
Brandon, St. Pete.
Orlando?
I'm not sure.
Maybe. You guys can try. Reach out to her on Instagram.
You guys could come down and pick them up.
It's worth it. These are amazing.
Yes.
And it supports us. It supports
it's a local business.
Her friend.
Yeah.
And we want to help her grow so we can get more free cookies. So go to chunkycookieshop.com and use code
Be better.
Be better. Which I also should have been like, wait, well, I don't want to shout him out as this promo, but that is kind of funny. If you guys saw our last episode, I'm mocking Mr. Male Feminist on TikTok.
You get 20% off.
So 20% off with promo code Be Better, and get yourself some chunky cookies and help support a startup company who has fed us with free diabetes. No, they're delicious.
They are.
Yeah.
And two, I know she eventually wants to, I think, figure out shipping.
Yeah. So she's growing. And that's the thing. If you guys help support her, even just follow her on Instagram, send her a message or ask her if you're in the local area
Facebook
or something.
and Instagram.
So that way she can it'll help her expand. And then hopefully she can figure out a way to, you know, have shipping, or, you know, I don't know how bakeries work, if you actually ship all over the country or you just start up different bakeries and have staff, whatever. Help her expand. They're great. Cool. They're delicious. And I want more free cookies. So anytime you want to give me more cookies, we will shout you out again. So yeah, that's another little sponsorship.
Yeah.
And this time, if you guys also remember the last episode, this time we didn't have to keep the cookies away from the bad cops who are shooting people in the streets or I guess kneeling on their neck. R.I.P. George Floyd.
Yeah.
This one's a much more lighthearted Halloween episode. So, okay. Chunkycookies.com. Chunkycookieshop.com is the website. And we'll put the link in the description. Okay, so what else happened? So it's been Halloween. It's been my birthday. It's been my burnt out month, I guess. I'm finally getting back into the swing of things. We got some parties to go to this weekend because it's Halloween. That's one thing that I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of shit for if I post about is, how dare you go out on Halloween? Where's your mask? First off, it's Halloween. Oh, yeah. Everybody's wearing masks.
Yeah.
It's like, can't you just put on like a werewolf mask and be like, or a Scream mask, a Jason mask, and be like, I'm wearing my mask.
I was wondering for like kids and stuff too, if they're trick-or-treating this year.
No.
Do their masks
count?
Are they considered?
It is. Why not? It's a mask.
Yeah. It's like you're gonna put it over there.
How is it any different?
I know.
It's not like these pieces of cloth are doing anything different than a werewolf mask would do. It's keeping. I think it's probably safer to have a big acrylic plastic. I don't know what it is. Rubber mask. I'm sure that keeps in more particles than these cloth masks we're wearing. But we're going to go to some party because Florida's back open. We're going to go out and have some fun. And people are going to be like, you're spreading diseases. First off, listen here. People, it's always
Karen.
the people. Yeah, Karen. Blue-haired losers. We call them the social rejects on TikTok. It's like all the people who never would get invited to a party anyways. They're the ones who are like, you guys are out being irresponsible. Don't go to parties. Easy for you to say. You've never been invited to a party in your life.
Oh my God.
We go to parties and we're going to keep living life because if we're all dying of COVID, might as go out with a bang.
For sure.
You know, might as well.
Enjoy it.
But, you know, they're like, you're spreading diseases. Hey, I know you've never been to a party before, but let me tell you, during Halloween, diseases will be spread, but it won't be COVID.
Oh my God.
If you know what I mean. There's other diseases that are definitely getting spread.
Yikes.
But it ain't COVID. Can you guess any of them? Trick or treat. Here's your herpes.
Syphilis.
Here's your chlamydia. Oh, sweet.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm excited for downtown St. Pete. We haven't been there in a long time. And I think everything's open again. There's dancing again. I'm like, super excited for that.
So we're going to be in downtown St. Pete tomorrow night, which is not Halloween, and then Halloween's the next night. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to go hang out with some friends. We're going to, if any of you guys are down there and see me, come say hi. I don't know if you're going to see this episode before tomorrow. Well, I'm going to try, but yeah. We're going to have some fun. We haven't been out in a while. We actually did. We went to the beach this weekend. This was like the first week we started doing stuff again. Well, actually, we did traveling, a little staycation, but it was still kind of stuff was shut down. It wasn't like a huge social thing. But we did go to the beach this weekend, and it was kind of back to normal-ish. Some of the bars are still shut down, but there was people out, and people were...
Not as many as for a Sunday.
I know, that's true. It is still kind of...
But it was good. Yeah. It was still better.
I felt... good to be out of the house.
Yes,
But yeah, going downtown St. Pete tomorrow, and then who knows what trouble we're gonna get into on actual Halloween Saturday. So yeah, I'm excited for that. What are you gonna go as? It's a Halloween party, right?
Yeah.
We're dressing up
and going out. Yeah.
I have no costume, so what are you gonna be?
No, I know. Well, you were kind of saying too, like UFC fighter, and I have the ring girl outfit.
Yeah, I do kind of want to make that happen because Erin has that UFC ring girl outfit. And if you've not seen Erin half naked before, well, if you subscribe to our OnlyFans, you've seen her fully naked. However, the UFC outfit, it's great. It looks awesome. So I'm like, maybe I should be like a UFC fighter and you can be the ring girl. And then we got a cool couples outfit. However, I don't have any of the stuff that I need to make that work.
Well, I got you a...
Yes.
What's it called now?
A punching bag.
Punching bag.
Thank you.
You're halfway there.
And thank you to your mom.
Yes.
Very, very happy for the gift. They got me a 100-pound punching bag, which I've been wanting to get for a while because, I want to just start hitting the bag instead of hitting Erin.
Thank you.
She's like, damn it, that was my favorite part. But I need to get gloves for it anyways because I don't have gloves. And I used to, but not now. So I'm like, all right, I got to go get some gloves. And then I was like, if you're that, then that's like I could just go buy some gloves.
Perfect.
I got the UFC outfit. I can act like a fighter. And it's not just a one-time use thing.
Yeah.
So
I'll give you a black eye.
I did this before years ago.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, I was a UFC fighter and I did that. I did get a little black eye. So if you want to do that.
Yeah. I'll give you a nice
I don't
one.
mean, first off, I was already like, how is she going to do this? Because I was like, I think my mom put the makeup on me to make it look like a black eye. And I'm like, Erin can give me one. And then I'm like, you don't know how to do makeup?
Maybe. How dare you assume that I don't know? You're correct, but how dare you assume that?
I don't even think you have the makeup to do that.
I don't have black.
But then again, it probably would look like a black eye because when you try to do your makeup good, it probably looks like a black eye anyways. Just colors and black and blue everywhere, just smeared all over your face. And they're like, "What's on your face?" It's my contour. Really? Did you get punched? Did you run into a wall? What happened here?
I'm good at doing it.
We'll see. But no, so that would be a good costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing the UFC girl and I'll be the UFC fighter.
It was that or a bunny like last year because I have those ears.
I know. If all else failed, because tomorrow I got a lot to do, so I'm going to try to run to the store and see if I can find that stuff. And then I'll do that. If not, I'll just fall back onto the cowboy hat too and just be as simple. Yeehaw.
You're a rabbit farmer.
Okay, there we go. I'm down
rabbit.
with it. It's simple. It's easy. I like it.
But if you can get the stuff, let's do the
Well,
UFC.
I mean, I need them anyway, so I'll try. So look out for the hot UFC girl. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I forgot we're going to have to wear our masks too.
They still have the mask rule?
Some places. It depends where you go.
I guess we got to bring them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I had like a cool, that would be a good costume for a mask is like the Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero, because he wears the mask, something cool like that. But
we have one day to figure it out.
I don't think I'm going to get that done tomorrow. Too much else to do. Yeah, I'm excited for it. So we'll see what the costumes actually are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
So what else has been up? on this week, on these 3-week breaks that I've taken to calm down and disconnect and not put up this podcast. A lot has happened, I guess.
I know. I just feel like I've been so go.
Yeah.
Just so busy, but have done nothing.
You always think that.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you are doing things.
I am.
You just aren't.
It's continuously. It's just nothing towards
we
what
were talking about that earlier.
I want to do.
Yeah. How like sometimes you actually are doing so much. Just like, with my work and everything, there is so much I'm doing, but sometimes it feels like, did I do anything this week?
Yeah.
What did I accomplish?
I have this whole list of things that I need to do or want to do around the house, and I haven't done any of that because I've been so just...
What?
I don't even fucking know.
I'm like,
I haven't been home.
This house is always clean and fine and perfect.
No, I want to like paint the room and stuff and paint outside the entranceway, but I want to wait till it's cooler out. And there's like, I want to sand down all of our wood furniture and stain it the same color. Yeah, so there's like a lot of things that I want to do. I have like this whole list. And I wanted to make my own shoe rack and like so many little projects and paint a
bunch of things that she's can like,
room.
It's on my list to do, but I'll wait till better weather. And this is just, what it's like. If you don't do that, nothing bad happens. When I don't do my shit, it's like I'm losing all of our income and all of my momentum and my whole following. And like, this is my moment to succeed in life. And I have to do all of this. And it's, if I don't, I fail.
Well, the reason why I wanted to do all of this was like, to get it all out of the way in case I ever get pregnant again. Then I won't have to do anything. She is just
hoping. She tried to get me to get her pregnant again this past week. But
you took it as that.
First off, not to get too graphic, but I'm pretty sure, close your ears, Mom. I'm pretty sure you said, I want you to come in me.
No, I did not.
Pretty sure.
Did not say in me.
Oh, you said for me?
For me.
Well, I misheard. I was like, okay, I could do that. Sure.
Well, I have a heating pad on. I am currently...
Are you warming up the baby?
Yeah, I'm cooking it right now.
No.
Bun is in the oven.
I was literally thinking after that happened, because we had a great night and a little good date night and good reconnection and good little orgasm and a little something. And the next morning I was just like, shit, I probably did it again. Like this is exactly what happened last time, but period.
Last time it was this.
Oh, that's true. But her period came, so did I. She woke up this morning, or I woke up and she had the heating pad on, and I'm like, I guess no baby this time. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
First day is always the worst, and I was hungover, so it was just like
double miserable,
terrible time.
Well, maybe you shouldn't drink so much.
I didn't
remember those couple months when you weren't drinking at all because we had a baby.
I know, it was wonderful.
Yeah, well, that's probably why she's like, come in me.
Give me a reason to stop drinking.
Yeah. I know you say, but that is interesting. It's like we never really did that. I always pull out.
Yeah.
But ever since we got pregnant, and then it was like we got used to the idea, and then we had the miscarriage. R.I.P. little fetus. But now it's like I'm not afraid of getting you pregnant anymore. It's just like, oh, let's do it again. Mm-hmm. But also,
I am afraid of being pregnant during the summer months, though.
That doesn't bother me, obviously. But
you don't have to.
I know. But I am also like, well, I should take this opportunity to like, now that we don't have a kid on the way, do all the things I need to do that I was kind of like, shit, I need to do this.
That's why I want to get the house all situated.
I know. Okay, so it's good that you got your period. Thank you. Thank you, blessing from the cursed woman god of menstrual cycles.
I know. That was nice too, not having a period for like 100 some days.
I'm sure.
It was wonderful.
Although it seemed even worse once the miscarriage happened, that was like a period, 10 periods all at once hitting you.
Was it 100 days? That seems a little excessive. Maybe it wasn't.
Probably close. I mean, 90 days is 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Look, you're good at math.
Yeah.
You didn't even know it, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll happen again, but yeah, we're not trying to make it happen. That one was just a lapse of judgment and a fit of passion. So speaking of all that, What about how's our relationship going? We've had a few talks these couple days, and we've had some good times and some not bad times, but just you know, I don't know. This past week was really good. I felt like we really reconnected.
I know.
We had.
You're being so sweet and loving, and you like got a little cold going on, and I like took care of you. I made you some soup.
Yeah, if you guys can't tell from my voice right now, I don't know if it sounds like I'm sick, but I am.
Yeah, not as bad as it was before.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little sick. It's not coronavirus, don't worry.
Yeah.
It's just, you guys know colds still exist. Everybody's like, we went out or party and then I get sick. Oh my God, this is what you deserve. It's like, guys, it's not COVID, okay?
Yeah.
Like, there's still the colds. Mm-hmm. It's cold season. I'm all congested.
I know, when I was telling everyone too, because everyone asked me what we were doing this weekend, I was like, oh, well, like, Nick's sick right now. It's not with that.
They're like, what?
I know. It's not COVID. It's just a cold. And like, hopefully he's better by then and all this stuff. Because I kind of thought, because of the last times you were sick, you do get sick and like stay sick for a while.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, like hopefully we can just bust it out and like give you a bunch of health so that way this weekend we can go, because we miss Gasparilla.
I know. So. The last time I was sick, go back to that episode. It's called A Shitty Imagination on this episode. It was in January. God, it's already been almost a year.
You've been sick twice this year.
When was the second time I was sick? That was
this week.
Oh, this week. Okay. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, I thought you meant there's two other times.
No.
But that was deathly ill, like miserable, and not like a cold, but like
can't leave anywhere.
Can't go anywhere. Can't eat, can't drink, can't keep anything down. It was miserable. Or I guess I could keep it down, but I couldn't keep it in. It was a shitty week. But no, this one, you really did cure it, right? I was like, oh, it's coming on. And then it got worse. I felt it. We were at the beach because by the end of the day, I was kind of like not very energized.
Yeah.
And we had a good group of friends and everything. And usually that really like fires me up. And I was kind of out of it. I just felt the sore throat coming on. And I was like, oh, this sucks.
You've been like partying for a few days too. So it was like the drinking and everything. So your just immune system was pure.
Yeah. And then I went to bed that night and it came on and I was like, oh, this is going to be my life for the next week or two. And then you woke up and you just got me soup, got me orange juice, got me all the fixins. And I'm always of the opinion, like, once you're sick, vitamin C isn't really going to help you anymore. That's like what you got to do when it's coming on or before it comes on. But you filled me up with fluids more than I filled you up with this sorry, Mom. And I felt much better. That next night, it was like kind of worse. But by the next night, it was much better. I slept much better. And I was like, wow, I think you kind of nipped it in the bud.
I swear it's so soup. So I learned that soup from Hannah, ginger chicken soup. And it is like the best fucking thing to have when you're sick.
Yeah.
So good. Loaded up with ginger and garlic, onion, whole chicken.
I'm a fan.
So it has all the fat and stuff and just, it just like attacks the cold and kills it.
So see, there's use for you yet. I guess I can make a wife out of you after all. You cook for me, you clean for me, you take care of me when I'm sick, and you have
the whole package.
Excellent titties.
Yeah.
It's great. What else do you need? She's nice.
Yeah. Oh, keep going.
She's pretty, and she's got a nice butt.
Hello.
And her
brains.
Exactly. She doesn't have any, and that's so easy to deal with when she's just empty in there. She's like, that's not what I meant by brains. Yes, her brains. She doesn't have them. Which makes it a lot easier to just manage her. It's great.
Yeah, totally.
Dream come true. Nah. You got good brains. Just not about, spelling.
Oh God.
And pronunciation.
Yep. None of
and
that. And
pop culture knowledge and historical facts and
I have emotional
how the government
intelligence,
works. And
so that's all
that is
I
true.
need.
You do have emotional intelligence, and that's important.
And self-awareness.
Yes.
So.
And the truth is, you are just a nice, kind, cool,
empathetic,
positive person, and you have good vibes. That goes so far. You're nice.
I'm perfect. I know.
Good. Good. And you're sexy. You know, that's important to me. That's my number one thing. But you're sexy in the way, and you're pretty in the way that it's not fake. You're like naturally pretty and beautiful, which is natural. A great, well, okay, the boobs are a little fake, but they sure feel real and taste real when I put them in my mouth. But no, like you're not one of these, it's all lip fillers and makeup. Mm-hmm. You're a pretty girl, and that is marriage material. Mm-hmm. It's like you're pretty, and you'll probably be pretty naturally till you're 40, and then it's all downhill.
Well, you're pretty too.
Thank you.
Pretty ugly.
Oh, sick burn, Erin. Never heard that one before. On that note, I'm going to go cry myself to sleep and be right back with the rest of this podcast.
Chunky cookies.
Yeah, go to chunkycookieshop.com.
Woo.
Promo code Be Better.
Be better.
Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back. See, Erin, this is why we got to start actually making notes about what things we want to talk about, because there was a lot we wanted to talk about on this episode, and then we kind of forget and we get into other things. It's always funny how that happens. We're like, we're going to talk about this, which I kind of like. I kind of like just keeping this all free form. Mm-hmm. And definitely when there's events and big things that come up, it's like easy to rant on. But, you know, sometimes
there was something that had come up and I was just like, oh, I'm going to save that for the podcast. Yeah. And then I fucking forget.
And then I talked for 15 minutes about men going bald as if that even is something that applies to me. But it's just what I've been watching today for some reason. It was weird. Conversations are like that, you know, you just go in whatever direction it is. Mm-hmm. It's okay. You don't got to force it.
No, I know. It's just there was something.
That was one thing we were talking about. You know, we had our little discussion last night, and obviously,
last night I was all over the place.
I know. She came
very drunk.
Came home drunk.
And then I ate a chocolate and I microdosed. So I was just like tripping. I was all over the place. I was spinning in my head, and it was just
and
like
you dumped a bunch onto me.
And I was just like one topic. And then I had said something to him and he like kind of think you got stuck on it or something. And I was just like, I'm already over here now. Yeah. Like I'm not even thinking about that anymore. Like I'm so sorry. I was like, please ignore me. I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm like all fucking over the place, curled up in a little ball, like ugly crying. Like, oh my God.
And I get that. I know how the mushrooms goes, where you kind of are, you jump around and you go into these, you're like, 1 minute you're over here, 1 minute you're over here, and the vibe changes really quick, and you're going through all this internal stuff.
Yeah.
But I wasn't on mushrooms, and I wasn't drunk, and I had been chilling here all day, so I'm just like on my normal vibe, and you just come home and you turn me on to all this, like, not in the good way turning me on. And anyways, it sparked off some conversations, and it got a little emotional for a second. I mean, definitely from your perspective. I mean, mine too. Just I was like kind of frustrated with you. Like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
Please, I'm not on your level. Mm-hmm. But we kind of talked it out and whatever. But some of the conversation that we had was like, you know, how to talk about certain situations and to certain people about certain things that come up in your life. And you were asking me like, what would you say in this situation? And what do you do? And I'm just like, I don't know how to give you that roadmap. Mm-hmm. Why was I even asking that? Well, like I know why, but I don't want to throw it was like your friend's situation.
Oh.
You know.
Maybe.
Like asking about how, like, if somebody's watching your kid and you don't want them to do something, how do you tell them no?
Yeah.
So I just don't want to throw out all your friends' stuff.
No, yeah.
But I was like, I was trying to explain to you, and this applies to so much. This applies to what we were just saying on this podcast, and like how conversations work and how we talk about things, and just when we go out and socialize, because that's another issue that we're talking about a lot and trying to like solve. And you don't think you're really good at talking the way that I am, and I understand. And I don't think you're good at listening, and you're good at giving real feedback and being very present. And like we have a podcast together. I mean, we're obviously having conversations, although I mostly just talk. I know, but that's the thing. I'm good at talking, and I can kind of just go with the flow, and I can read the situation and just let things evolve. And that's what I like. And that's what I'm really good at doing. But you kind of somehow think it's like a script, or like I need like,
well, I just need like tips or like pointers or like these types of things, because I haven't really been like, you know, I have like this trauma brain, and it's, you know, my past relationships, we never really like my last 4-year relationship, we never talked. And then I lost all my friends. So there was like a period in my life where I never talked about anything. And so it's like coming back from all of that. It's like, how do I people? And like, what do I do? And like,
now you're with the biggest talker of all. Just talk.
Which is great too, because it should take the pressure off of me in a sense of like, oh, okay, well, he's got this. But that actually adds more pressure onto me in a sense, because I do have this like perfectionist complex where I just want to be so like perfect. And I see this level where you are, and like, I want to be up there. And like, so I put all this pressure on myself, though I don't like,
and she fails
go
miserably.
About it. It's like, okay, well, if I want to be this, well, then do it. But then I have so much anxiety and like all this, and it's just like so crazy. And it's just like, well, I just need to love and accept myself for who I am and not compare. Yeah. Because, like, no, we are both here. I am better at things than you are for certain things, and you're better at things than I am at certain things. But that's what
a lot of things.
Not true.
Most things. Everything.
Oh my God.
Especially mini golf.
Not true.
Schooled you. No, it's this is a big issue that we're dealing with and we're talking about, and it ties into a lot of these things because, you know, I'm trying to kind of show you the way I communicate and the way I talk. It's very not scripted. It is very free, you know, just like what's the term? I use this term again on this podcast and I forgot what it was. Like tip of the consciousness. I don't know. It's just like free-flowing conversation where I can kind of read a situation and read the energy of the people and read the room and understand, and almost any topic people throw, I can kind of just move in the direction of that or steer it where I want to go conversationally. And I kind of just let those, and that's why this podcast, sometimes we're like, we're going to talk about these topics and it goes in a whole different direction.
Yeah.
And then you were asking like, how do you approach your friend or a family member about this situation? And what would you say, Nick? I need your help. And I'm like, well, it depends, because with one family member, I would go this way, with one family member this way, with one family member this way. And you were like getting frustrated of like,
that is not the
you
answer.
were like, Nick, I just want to know what to say. And I don't need to know all. And it's like, but I'm giving you what I would do is it just depends. It's so organic and it's so intuitive for me of like how to spin a situation that like, I just know how to be very direct and be very stern when it's needed, but also like read the person I'm talking to and adjust accordingly based on their reaction and their feedback. And if I just sat down and said, say this, that's not real advice. That's not what I would do. That's not what I would say.
Yeah.
And then when we're talking about conversations of like when we go out and we just meet people or we're in the bar or whatever, or at a party, and you hold yourself up to like, I need to be on like Nick's level of like, I don't know what to say and what to do. You're not supposed to know what to say or do. You're supposed to just get the tools of like how to be comfortable, just kind of riffing, just kind of bullshitting.
That's the thing. I need the tools. You need to kind of tell me what I should say so I can have some tools.
Are developed over time of practice that work for your personality. My tools are sarcasm and humor and wit and kind of being a dick sometimes.
My
and
tool.
all. Yeah, yours is the pretty smile. And that's the thing is I don't think you're going to be that person. You are a great listener and you're truly present when you're talking to somebody, when you're like listening to what they're saying and what they're talking about, and you really you show that you really care. And
good one-on-one.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Great one-on-one.
Yeah, you're not as good at
group settings. No, because I'm not going to interject. I'm just going to kind of stand there and listen.
Oh, that was one thing. I wanted to save this TikTok.
Even if I have something to say, I'm more than likely I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say it in my head.
Who was the TikToker? I think it was Joe Bartolozzi. Shout out Joe Bartolozzi on TikTok. He made a video about like people who are heavy talkers. Like if you're at a party and you're talking and you're usually not like you want to get in the conversation, but everybody's talking. He basically laid out what I told you before of like, you can't wait for somebody to ask you something. You can't wait for a pause. You have to jump in. If you want to get in, people aren't ignoring you. It's just talkers talk and then other talkers talk and we interject and we force ourselves into a conversation. And when you do that, people will listen and accept you in.
But if you don't, I've done that before. and I get completely ignored. So then I stop
because
trying.
you're not confident with it or loud.
I don't
or
even fucking know. Yeah.
That's
so it's
like the point he was making, and I'll dig up the video and show you because I think it's applicable to you, just hearing it from somebody else's perspective.
Yeah.
But it's like
when you get beat down so many times, it's like, why?
But you're not getting, that's the thing. You're not getting beat down.
Not
You
beat
perceive
down,
it that way.
ignored.
You perceive it that way.
That's
but
how it is.
people who are good at talking, they know how to interject, and that's an important skill.
It's
That's
the
what
tone
you
of
need
my
to,
voice. It's very low, and a lot of people have burnt that out in their hearing, so they can't hear
tuned
me.
it out.
It's like that part of their
That's what you think, but it's also
shattered.
People do pick up. You know, it's not insecurity, but like you got to be confident in your presence and interject and feel confident that you can take over your own, make people listen to you. And if people sense that you're timid, that's why they ignore you. It's not the volume of your voice. A lot of times it's just like, oh, she's just kind of like throwing in one line or whatever, but she's not really trying to get in this conversation. You have to force your way in there. That's the strong talker personality. In a group dynamic.
Sound fun.
I get it. And that's not your wheelhouse, and that's fine. But you can't be upset that like, oh no, people don't sit around and say, what are your opinions on this? That's not really how people talk.
No, I know. That's why I'm just good standing there.
Yeah.
And just smiling.
And I think that's okay because you bring a positive vibe and a positive energy. I know.
Like, God, why am I here? This is great.
Well, see, this is, and she's half like joking, but the humor is that that's serious. Is she does wish she was just at home, and that causes.
It's not just at home. It's I wish I was just like one-on-one with someone. It's like it's like I'm not. It's like okay, or I wish I could just go dance and like do my own thing. Y'all can have your group conversation. Can I go do something that I enjoy? Can I play a game? Is there a game here I can play? Is there a dog I can play with? Is there a cat I can pet? Like,
can I go talk to your cat? Because I don't know how to talk to humans. Meanwhile, she's like,
I do.
Let's bring on guests.
I need one-on-one.
She wants one-on-one, and then she's like, let's bring on guests on our podcast, and we're just gonna talk over each other the whole time.
Oh, I know. I'm just gonna mostly be there and
be the pretty smile.
Yeah.
So we're gonna slowly move Erin out of this podcast.
Probably.
I'm gonna push her seat more into the corner until one day it's quality time with Nick and a chick.
It's funny because that's more than likely what's going to happen.
No, I think it will be good, especially if we only bring one person, because it will. You could be a good therapist. You're a very good listener, and you're going to bring.
I've been told that multiple times.
Yeah.
That I should do that.
I think you could. And you'll ask good deep questions. Yeah. You'll get them to, and I'll be the comedic relief and the shit talker. You know, I kind of am good at that, but I never really like dive too deep into the emotions. Sometimes just for temporary times, and I can. It's just that's not my.
That's not what you want to do.
Yeah. But you bring that energy, and I think it would be a good balance if we're kind of you're getting them to open up about their traumas, and I'm making fun of them.
Oh my God. Come join our podcast.
Hey, so guys, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, not only should you buy some chunkycookieshop.com, shout out, but feel free to come be a guest on our podcast where I can mock your traumas. It's going to be great. I think it sounds awesome. No, but this is a, it's an issue that we're dealing with in a relationship, because you know that I do want to go and party and be charismatic and work a room and
as long
work
as
the
party
bar.
has music, I'm fucking good.
Well, sometimes it is, but when we go to a certain club or dynamic, that doesn't work either. If like we go in together and then you just go to the dance floor and then I'm just talking to everybody, because then it's
we
like,
used to do that before. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I would have other people with us. We need other people. Like I need somebody to make sure you're safe, so I don't have to always be like, where's Erin?
So. We used to just go to McDitton's and you would go off and do your thing and I would just dance.
Yeah, but that was when I didn't love you.
Yeah.
And now I do, and I'm like, oh, where's Erin? I got to make sure she's safe.
Oh, you actually care now. Yeah. I used to like, I would just turn around and you're not there. And I'm like, okay, hopefully I don't get kidnapped. Like,
hey, I'm working. I'm working the room.
You don't even say anything.
I know, because I'm in a flow state. That's the thing, is I'm super aware of the present
just
moment.
You.
Of
and
the
person that you're talking to.
Yeah, I get in tune. Isn't that the whole point?
And then I like pop in and I'm like,
isn't that a good thing?
Like,
that I'm not thinking and dealing with all this other stuff, but I'm so present with the person I'm talking to?
That's sure, but thing. Also don't forget your girlfriend.
Oh, says the girl who wants to just run off and be a floozy on the dance floor. Hey, look at me. You're so not like that, totally. But everybody is looking at you. Mm-hmm. But no, it's like now it's a different thing now. It's like I'm just worried like, oh, Erin doesn't feel included, or she feels like she can't keep up, because you've expressed that you have a hard time talking on the level that I do. And it's like, this is something we're trying to figure out in a relationship, where you don't feel like there's some standard you have to live up to that you can't. And I don't want to feel like
my fault is that I should have got into therapy sooner, so I could have talked about these things with someone outside of the relationship, and who is, what's that, bipartisan? Is that
no.
it?
Who is non I mean,
bipartisan. What is that?
I don't even think that's the right word. I know what you're trying to say. Who's not invested or a part of it or whatever, isn't included. There is a word there. I know what you're thinking of, but it's not bipartisan.
Okay.
She's not a Republican or a Democrat.
It's like kind of like that, not in the relationship, whatever. So, yeah, what was it? Someone who, outside the relationship, because I have opened up to you a lot and confiding you about these issues and my insecurities, but then I just put them in your head, and now you think of me as like this.
I know.
Unsocial, like weak, scared person all the time, anxious person.
That's not true. Like, I don't think.
But
of you
I'm not.
way.
And then when I'm actually feeling good and doing this, then you're like checking in on me. Are you okay? This
exactly.
And that pisses me off, because I'm like, can't you tell that I'm good?
Yeah, and then I'm in a lose-lose situation, because I'm like,
and then it's the times that I'm not good, then you don't know, and it's just like, this is all backwards.
I know. It's like a catch-22, because the times when I'm like, okay, she's fine, and then I'm like, okay, don't worry, just do your own thing. She said, have fun and don't worry about her. And then that's the time you're like, you completely ignored me. And then other times I'm like, okay, check in on her so she knows I'm including her. And then you're like, I'm fine. You don't have to check in. It's like, well, shit, I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
And I just want to talk and vibe with people and connect and work the room, because I love doing that.
Yeah.
And then it
may be more when you check in is like when you aren't doing that. Like when you are in your flow state, that's when you don't check in, and then that's when I feel left out. So then that's why I'm like, okay, well, like now's the time to ask me. And then when I'm kind of doing my own thing and having fun, and then you're maybe, looking for something or whatever, then that's when you come and like check. I don't know.
Well, we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
I think the checking in has kind of gotten better, but we're working on the, you being able to communicate and talk to people and feel like,
or to just be comfortable in my silence.
Yes.
That's more what it is.
That is the main thing,
yes.
Because you have held yourself up to a standard of like, I have to be the schmoozy type person with Nick and be like his,
that I've given myself so much anxiety to
and
go
I'm like,
out
you
now.
don't have to be that.
Yeah.
One of our friends said it the best. They're like, Nick, you are the charming personality or the charismatic personality, and Erin is the pretty smile.
Yeah.
And not like you're just useless, but like you bring this positive energy that people are so drawn to. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the superpowers that you have that you don't even know that you have.
Yeah.
Not only are you pretty and you're a head turner, which I love, but everybody responds so positively to you, where I have seen other pretty girls and sexy girls and been out with them where like they are catty and you can tell other women hate them.
Yeah.
But you are so warm and welcoming and sincere. Mm-hmm. And your just presence is something that draws people in that you don't have to work on. You don't have to work them and win them over with your words.
Yeah.
In fact, you probably just scare them off like, oh, she's dumb. No, she doesn't know supposedly. She thinks it's supposedly.
That is a word.
No, it's not. But I think that's our good balance is we have a great chemistry and a great connection that we have in private, and that we have our vibe together. Mm-hmm. Perfect. It's when we go out and when I want to be this larger than life personality and work the room and get into my vibe, and you feel like you have to be that too. And I'm like, you don't have to be that.
It's like I never felt that. It only started that one time. I specifically know when it all went downhill. And it's like, then I just started putting so much more pressure on myself because, I think it was just we started talking about your frustrations more when I thought, it was just then. Because I always put everything on myself. It's like when I have friends that have issues, I would make them my issues. And I need to help you solve it. And it's like, this is your issue, but it definitely involves me more. So it's like, this is how 20,000 times I have to fix this and I need to be this thing, instead of like just realizing I'm good how I am.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And I try to reassure you that you are good as you are, but then you convince me like, but I'm not feeling good about this. And then it's like, so you put it in my head, like you're not good being yourself. So then I'm now like, I gotta do something for you, but then that takes me out of what I want to do and what I need. And so we're doing this back and forth, and sometimes it causes problems, and sometimes it's just it's not a big problem. I mean, it is for those situations. But it's not like we have so much other areas of our life where we're so good and we're so connected and we don't have this feeling or frustration at all. And there's just, so it's just something we're working on and try to find our dynamic to where like, how do we go out together and not feel like, you're frustrated or where I don't feel frustrated and you don't feel anxious and nervous and overwhelmed and forced to like do things when it's just like, you don't have to. You just have to feel comfortable and confident in yourself and just be okay.
No, it's putting my meditation into life practice.
Yeah.
It's like I am really good at meditating, but
and all these phrases you have of like
into the real world.
Sad and I don't know. There's a bunch of other phrases, and girls always have these like mantras and mottos, and then they never put them into practice. It's just like,
I have like because like mantras just don't work for me. They need to be in music form. Like I can't just repeat a phrase over and over in my head. It actually needs to have like kind of like a little beat or some fluctuation, because then I can like
just sing that
it
little
in my
song,
head to
like,
me.
Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing, it's gonna be all right. Just,
exactly.
That's what I do whenever I'm like stressed out. Just sing a little Bob Marley. No, I don't, but I should. That is a good song mantra.
Yeah.
Should we do another clip or what? If we want to keep talking about this, okay, we'll do another clip and we'll be right back. And we'll do some more therapy time with Nick and Erin. So it's it's a thing in a relationship that we're trying to deal with, and you're dealing with it in your way of you're going to therapy, and you're very self-aware and you're trying to deal with it. But we've also this is like probably the most like the conflict point of our relationship. If there is any problem, it's this. But it's just that you also hold it up to such a high standard of like, it's a deal breaker if I'm not this type of woman for Nick. And I keep trying to reassure you, like, I don't like, look, I can't, yes, I have a lot of friends and I've dated girls and hooked up with girls who are the hot head turner socialite types. But I keep trying to tell you, like, that's not who I want to be with, because there's so many other levels to me and layers to me where, like, I don't want to be that all the time. I love being it sometimes. Just every once in a while, I want to go out and work the room and work the world, you know? I'm that type of a person. But then I like to retreat into just being alone and in my own space and private and doing all my own stuff. And that's where that is the majority of my life. And that's where I always had problems with other relationships is, what are we doing? And where's my attention? And where's this? And let's go out and let's do this. And then it would just be fights and arguments and bullshit and insecurities. And I fucking hated it. Sorry, Mom. And you were the only girl that, like, you're a head turner. I like you. You're pretty. We have a great chemistry in private and by ourselves. And I can stand you. I can hang out with you. I like you being in the same room as me. You don't suck my life force away.
Yeah.
You don't constantly need attention, but you love attention and like attention. But you're we give each other attention all throughout the day. And I actually like doing that. We can travel together and we don't pull each other's hair. I mean, we have had a few fights here and there throughout our relationship, but they're just normal things. They're not like bad things, but we've gone on vacations and trips across the country several times where we're stuck in a car for weeks and had nothing but great times. Some of those are our best memories. And all of these things, I'm just like, we like each other. We can be calm with each other. We can be alone together and not have to constantly like deal with each other's shit and give each other attention and validation and all these. We're comfortable together, even in silence. And that's one area where you are really good. You're very good at being comfortable in silence, whereas a lot of girls are not, you know, and a lot of people are not. And they constantly need like, what are you doing? What are you talking? Let's talk. Let's blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I'm a big talker, but again, it's when I turn it on. I don't want to do it all the time. And, though that's the majority of my life and of where my life is going to be, because I do a lot of solo things and I need that. And I need somebody who's okay with that and is comfortable with that and is happy in that. And you thrive in that. You thrive in like, you can just be by yourself and you're okay and you're happy and you don't freak out.
Perks of being an only child.
That's true. I guess. And, not perks, but punishment of being from a huge family with 6 kids and 8 people packed in a house is the constant need for attention. Fight for attention. I need attention all the time, but I don't. But when I need, when I'm craving it, it's like, hey, pay attention to me. I'm going to make you listen to me. So like we have that compatibility, and I think that's the majority of like what life is, and that's the hardest thing that I have had a hard time finding in somebody. I found people that I can chill with, and I've even like my ex, one of them, I really liked her, and I really like could hang out with her, but we had problems in like the relationship aspect or the sexual aspect or whatever. And with you, we connect on all those aspects, but there is still this aspect of like going out. You're not insecure. You're not jealous. You're not any of these things, but you do hold yourself up to like, I have to be this big socialite girl for Nick and be, and it's like, you don't really have to be that.
I know.
I've never needed you to be that. It's just, I need to find a way to be that. And our only issues have been coming from that, like that pressure of, I'm trying to find a way to do it with you, but I'm going about it the wrong way. And you're trying to like live up to this standard for me, but then you have all this pressure on you, and then it kind of goes bad. And those are really the only areas of our life where if we could just solve that, I mean, we don't have another problem.
No, I know.
Not that I could think of.
And
it's
why I would like say all that too is because, what was it? Why I would kind of say like, oh, I don't live up to the standard for you, so like you should find someone else, and like that type of thing.
Yeah, and I hate that.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, I can't be this perfect girl for you. You should go be with one of these other girls. And it's like, you just put it in my head of like, maybe I should.
Yeah,
should I do? Am I making the wrong choice here?
Like, I don't want to have arguments and like fights about that. Like,
I don't either.
It's like, how many times can you have arguments about the same thing before it's like, okay, this obviously is just like not working. I don't think that at all. No. It's just like,
I think having arguments about the same thing just means we haven't fixed it.
Yeah.
And we're clearly going about it the wrong way. And oftentimes our conversation about it does get into this like, you think you understand what I'm talking about, but you don't. And I think I understand what you're talking about, but I don't. And we've never really gotten to like the right explanation that resonates with the other person. And so we go in circles a lot, and we pretend like, oh, we fixed the issue and we're going to solve this and we know what to do. And then the next time we make the same mistake, and it's like, we just have never found the right path to fixing it. So it goes in circles, or one of us just kind of shuts up. Oftentimes I just shut down and try not to rock the boat and not really discuss it, but it comes out, and my frustrations come out in other ways. When I'm feeling unfulfilled in that area of my life, I can't hide it forever. I can't bottle it up forever, because then it's just going to come out of me being jumpy or frustrated or withdrawn, where I just kind of ignore you or kind of just pull away from like sex and not, and I feel like you can sense that too. And I'm like, I want to reconnect with you and you feel it too of like, I want to reconnect with Nick, but my way of kind of getting my energy back is to like go out and socialize with you and kind of show us off and be that hot couple that people love and are drawn to. And that makes me feel so alive and confident. And it makes me feel so good and proud about you. And then we always come back and we have a great time after that. But when we go out and it's like you're feeling like too pressured or too insecure, not really insecure, but like anxiety. And then you kind of feel like you don't live up to this, or the night ends early when I'm having like a great time, then it's like it all kind of deflates. And then I come back and it's like, oh, man, I wish we could have had more fun and the night ended too early, and, you know, just different combinations of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's something we're working on, and it's something we're trying to find the path to do. And I think you think, Nick, you just need this girl that's always down to party. And that's what I'm saying is, okay, I can have that. But what do I do with her the rest of the time? Because I've been with that and I can't just hang out with her. I can't just be calm and like sit around with her and watch TV and cuddle and all that. I have never found a girl that really does that. And you're the closest to like striking all my boxes that I love. I love that about you and us. And you're such, like I said, you just bring in this such positive energy. The other night other day when we did go to the beach, and then you got up and went to the bathroom, and all the girls were just like, Erin is so hot and so pretty. And they were just like, and not in a pandering way. And I just love hearing, I'm just like, dude, I have the girl.
Yeah.
And she's not, and you're not one of these girls that is. I love about you that you're not the, look at me, I need attention, let's go out and get drunk and like let me take Instagram pictures all day and show off and just try to get attention from men or from people. You don't care about that at all. That's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. That's one of the things I love about you the most.
Yeah.
And I understand that comes with like, you're not that socialite type of person. You're kind of your own person who's kind of, and you just kind of want to be alone with me a lot of times. And I think that's a great thing. That's not a bad thing. It's just how to do it when I am feeling like I want to go work the room in a way that also helps us and makes us feel good together.
No, I know. And like, I like to have conversations with other people and stuff and meet people out.
You do. And oftentimes we went to a Halloween party this past week and I kind of was bouncing around the room and I was out on the porch with a bunch of girls who were like passing around the blunt, and I was kind of getting to know them, and we were all kind of having a smoke circle. Yeah. And I would be like, where's Erin? I hope she's okay. Cause I was kind of worried, like, is she just standing awkwardly and feeling like ready to go? And I look and you're just having this deep conversation with a girl on the couch and you guys were talking for, I don't know, an hour,
a long time,
a while. And you do that really well when you connect with somebody and you really get in, and you guys are having it. And for her, that was probably an amazing night.
No,
because she's like, wow, this girl is so like listening to me and actually cares and is digging. And I love that.
Yeah.
But we have to find a way to where you can do that all the time in different, it's a lot easier at like a house party where you can sit down and everybody's kind of friends of friends versus like at some high energy bar or club where, you know, you can't just go sit in the corner and talk to somebody. It's a lot harder.
That's why as long as there is music or games, I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing is like, I think finding the right group of friends, finding the right best friend for you who we can go to that's also like kind of on your level and you feel good with, and you guys can socialize when you want to, or dance when you want to, or just hang out together when you want to. And then I can kind of hang out with you guys, meet the people around, and kind of bounce around, because I like to bounce around and talk to everybody and kind of bring people in.
Yeah.
We just have to find that right dynamic, and finding the right bar or the right club situation or the right social situation, you know, certain beach bars, certain events where we just kind of, it works well for us. And that's where we're finding. And I do like the one part Park and Rec because there's games.
Yeah.
And it's got the dance floor and it's got the high energy vibe of like a lot of social people who are all like really in a party mode and really wanting to meet and talk and all that. And it's kind of got the mix of everything.
Yeah.
So we gotta do that more. But then sometimes we'll go out with a big group and that's too much because then you feel like you have to take care of everybody and then that puts the pressure on you. Or some people are just not as social, you know, like as much as you say you can't live up to the social standard, most people can't. A lot of people are just like, they don't know what to do and they just kind of follow me around or follow the group is just like, oh, one person's going over here. We all have to go over here. And it's like, guys, we don't all have to stick together. Like, let's just have a spot and everybody go and talk to people and bring people in and introduce people.
Yeah.
But a lot of people can't do that. I'm really good at that. That's what I love to do. And so we're looking for the right friends and everything and kind of going out with certain people. And, you know, there's just a lot of things that we're learning in that and trying to communicate about that and just find our vibe and find our level to where we can solve this issue.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not an all the time thing because oftentimes I am okay with just chilling, you know, and I'm not really like, let's go out. I'm not like always begging to go out, but every once in a while I'm like, let's go have a night where we can kind of work the town.
I know. That's why Corona was kind of good too, because we were going out every weekend and kind of something would come up because I would get too drunk. I would end it early, like all these things. And so it was just always, I think, a frustration at some point during the week or something like that. But then once Corona hit, it was like, oh, finally, like I have no more fucking pressure on me.
We can't go anywhere. There's nowhere
it's
open.
Like we can like reconnect and reestablish this relationship because it's been not like it's good. It's good. But I hate fighting.
I know.
And it's like I
do too.
And then I don't remember the next day because I'm drunk but you're in a mood. So I'm like, fuck, what I even say? What happened? Like, I don't even know really what's going on. So now I fell out of the loop and I'm just like, damn it, Erin, like why did this have to happen?
It's not a good habit to keep going.
Yeah. So thank goodness for that break.
However, I've said this many times before. Yes, we sometimes do have these fights that come up.
I know I'm over exaggerating it being all the time.
They're not like fights where we're fighting with each other. It's just a frustration of us trying to communicate and solve the problem and it comes out bad. And we're both frustrated and I get defensive and you get frustrated and you get hurt by some things. But we are talking about a real issue. We're not just making up shit and just throwing insults at it's like and even that is so few and far between. It feels like a big problem because it is the only problem we have and it's this issue that we're constantly trying to solve and it repeats itself, but it still is not like it's not where we're like fighting all the time. We're really not. It's just certain times when when it comes up again and it builds over time where it's like, this problem again. Erin, you said you were going to be better about this. And now we're going home again at 11 o'clock and I don't want to go home. I was having a great time. And because you're done, you're just like, okay, I'm going to just go home. And it's like, why did I even go out with you? I should just go out by myself. And that becomes like, then you fill my head up with, well, maybe I'm not the right one for you and you should just have somebody else. And then I'm like, well, maybe I should have somebody else. And then I get into that thought process, which is not a good thing to think because then that just makes me doubt everything about us. And it just makes me start thinking about other people more than thinking about you. But then I realize like, it would be fun to go out with this girl or that girl, but I don't want to hang out with her and date her. I don't love her. I don't think about them in that way. I think about you in that. I'm like, I want Erin to be this. I want to have this vibe with Erin, but I also got to accept that I can't make you be that way. And I don't really think about it that way. I'm okay with you being you. It's just how to also find my way to be me and it not. And we have one thing she's really good about is you let me go out by myself. You don't have issues with that. And that's great. And you're confident and comfortable. And we have a trusting relationship where you're like, go have fun. And we've even talked about if things do come up and things happen, we're adult enough to handle it. And we're trying to find that. But that's not something that I'm really looking for. It's just, I need a way to be myself and kind of express myself in these social ways and meet people and make friends and fill my social meter up. and not do it in a way that hurts the relationship, or where we are trying to do it together and we're just fighting, or we're going home frustrated, or one of us is like not happy about the situation. And that's the thing that we're trying to figure out, you know, and I think we'll get to it. And I think therapy is helping. I mean, you have talked about these issues, and you said you talked to your therapist about it. But one thing that does, you know, you'll often be like, oh, I'm working on this issue, and next time we're going to go do this. And then I'm like, okay. And then we go do it, and the same thing happens. And I'm like, you said you were going to not do that this time. I know, and that's fine. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And then it's like 15 times in a row. You're like, next time I'm not going to do this. And then we do it again.
I haven't even been in therapy 15 times.
I know,
so.
But I'm saying we talked about it many other times where you're like, yeah, you're right. Let's go out this weekend, and I promise it'll be good. And then we go out.
I know. It's just I say that too because
you feel it in the moment.
Happy.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't do that. Don't just say something. I'm not.
I really believe in it, and I want to make you happy. That's
what I think.
I get tired.
Yeah, that's what I think is true. Is like in our conversation, we do often get to a place where we're like, this was good, and we understand each other, and we both are like, yes, I do feel this way, and I do want to be this way, and I am this way. And you're so like sure of yourself because you're feeling it in that one moment. And then it's like we go out 3 days later when you're not feeling that way, and then it's like, yeah, I just want to go home. And it's like, and that's
I'm not
okay.
going to force anything.
I know.
I'm not going to stay out to please you.
I don't want you to.
Because then it's like I could do that and I could try that, and you're not going to have fun.
No, I get it, and I'm okay with that. Because then I'll
just be there like,
I'm okay with that, except when it's like, well, in the situations where you going home means I have to go home, which there is often. When we drive to the beach together and it's 40 minutes away, and we brought our car, and you're just like, well, just Uber back. And I'm like, well, that's a $60 Uber ride. Or like we're drunk, and really I'm just then at the beach by myself, and I'm like, well, you were my wing girl, and you're my friend, my girlfriend, and my friend, and like you're who I'm with. If you weren't going to be here, I would have called up other friends.
Just get me some cocaine and I'll be fine.
That's true. Or Xanax.
I need something to wake me up.
Xanax is a good thing. We have been, you dabble in that sometimes, and it seems to be very effective for calming your nerves and just making you kind of okay. And I do notice a big difference in like your ability to just kind of be okay in the moment. And I think overall that's a good thing for you, and you don't abuse it. You take very little and stuff. It's just like a little to calm your nerves, and it seems to do wonders.
0.25,
yeah. But without it, you rely too heavily on the drinking, and that can work up to a point. And I'm noticing it more and trying to find your level and help you regulate that more. Like, Erin, drink some water. You don't need this. And like, how do you feel? And you're like, I feel great. And I'm like, good. Don't mess it up. Don't drink another. And we're trying to find those levels, because you will sometimes just drink too many, and then it's like, then you just start crashing. And then I do have to get you home. And that's another thing. I feel like I love you. I'm like protective of you, and I want to be like, okay, I got to get Erin home. I don't want to keep you out when you're feeling miserable. But then it's like, I get you home, and it's like, well, I'm still going to be up for 3 hours wishing I was out where we were. And now I'm just hanging in bed while my girlfriend's throwing up. That's not a good feeling. But it's not always those times. We have, this past week has been good. We went out, had a great time at the beach. We went to that party with our friend, the Halloween party, had a great time. You had great conversation. And that was a time I was even down to leave early. You were like, hey, but we checked in. You were talking to that girl for like an hour. I was out on the porch having fun with everybody. And then we came in, kind of reconnected, and I was like, you want to leave? And I think that's like the first time in forever that I said that to you, because you were like, really? And I was like, yeah. And then we're like, okay, how do we say all our goodbyes? And I was like, let's just sneak out the back door. And I think you've never been more happy in your life. That's the real couples goals that she dreams of. It's like, I need a man who's just like ready to leave the party with me as soon as possible. And sometimes I am.
Kind of.
No, I know.
It's like,
you don't need that, and you don't really.
When I'm ready to go, I want to know that I have a partner that's like, you know, if I'm feeling uncomfortable, if I'm feeling this way, I can look at someone and tell them exactly,
I know
what I need. And they're like, yes. And
well, maybe I'm not always so positive about it and like, yes, I love that choice. But I would say I have been there's been way more times where I have left with you than you stayed when I wanted to stay. I leave with you all the time. And that's the problem is I feel like I'm kind of, because I'm like every time it's like, come on, I want to stay and have a good time.
It's just like, well, then you can stay and I'll go. And then there's the whole thing of just you like, but I can this or that. I'm just like, well, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying on those times, if you're going to leave, then I'm going to go out with other people instead of with you.
And then too, I was like, when we were at the beach that one time, you're just like, I can't, like Uber, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go sleep in the car then. I'm tired and I just want to go. And then
there was a lot of other, we don't have time to get into that situation. We can do that another time, but there was extenuating circumstances why that time was a big issue for us.
Oh, I don't know. I just remember I was just like, okay, well then I'll stay. We can stay. And
your memory is very selective about the context to certain situations and the time frame and previous conversations. That's how it goes. We can't get into all that right now because we're wrapping up on this podcast and I'm trying to wrap it up on a good note. So everybody, if you would like to come party with me when Erin's not in the mood, we will go out together and we will have fun. And when Erin wants to bring, when Erin wants to bring her pretty smile and excellent energy, because she does have great energy and great vibes when we go out. I know you do.
I know this.
I'm not doubting that. She just, she can't hang like me. I know I'm the old guy now, but I can still hang.
Yeah. No. There needs to be things for me to do. I can't just.
That's what I was saying. It's like I want to find the places where like there's games and things like that, and I'm more recognizing that, and we're gonna find our spots. And,
and preferably because like the Parks and Rec, that's great, but the games are expensive as fuck.
No, I know.
I'm gonna spend $1 every time.
Just an example.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But the other Parks and Rec has free games.
Yeah. So we might go there tomorrow night.
No, I know.
When we go downtown St. Pete.
I think hit all the places.
Okay, guys. So on that note, subscribe to this podcast. Please hit the like button. And if you have, I missed it. See, this is why I take the timer so serious. Like, I got to cut you off because it just cut off. So guys, please subscribe to this podcast and leave a like and visit our friend chunkycookieshop.com.
Yes.
And, happy Halloween, everybody. And find yourself a girl who can hang.
Yeah.
Around the house.
And who likes to sleep.
I know. I do. Hey, that is one of my favorite things about it. You're just like, can we just like hang and chill today? And you're not all like, I love that sometimes. I really do. Especially after we do go out and we have a crazy night, whether it goes good or bad. The next morning, we're both like, you just want to lay in bed all day and cuddle and watch stuff. And I'm like, yes, that sounds awesome.
I want to do that now.
Okay. Except I'm supposed to edit this.
That's right. Just kidding.
It's okay. It's like, I don't know. Did we talk about anything that's that timely? I just have to have it up by Halloween, I guess. So maybe tomorrow daytime. Oh yeah, I'm doing so much. We'll decide after this, but it does sound great to just chill and cuddle and, reconnect. Supposedly, I don't cuddle with my girlfriend. Don't listen to her. I'm a heartless bastard. All right, guys.
Not at all.
That's the end of this podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and leave a like. And we'll be back next week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. See you.
Bye.